Okay, give me a second, get set up, then I'll welcome you to the lecture. Welcome to, I think this is the sixth. Yeah, I think this is the sixth lecture. Anyway, check the title. It'll tell you whether it's the sixth or the fifth. Sometimes I call it Tax in Investing 101. Sometimes I call it Introduction to Tax in Investing. I probably stick with introduction, but anyway, check the title of the video. You will see what the introduction is, what the title is. In the previous lecture, I told you that I'll talk to you on January 18th, which is after tomorrow. But I thought about an important homework, so I decided to record this one today, January 16th. I'm right now, I just checked out of Motel 6 in Temecula, and I'm going to head towards 29 Palms, which is closer to Arizona than Temecula. I'll be house and dog sitting there and camping. It's a house, but it's kind of very rudimentary house. A house set there 4 years ago, 2020, and there was no way to take a shower inside the house. I assume it's in the same shape. Normally, when if you do tax investing and you want to do it right and do due diligence in person, as opposed to just online. Well, you always do online anyways, whether you do it in person or not. Hold on, I heard the click.
Turn right onto Marina
I need to
Road.
make sure that I haven't turned off my camera.
Road.
So give me a second.
Head north toward Marina Road. Take the next right
Yep,
onto
the
Marina
camera is
Road.
still on. I heard the click. I thought I may have turned off my camera when I was trying to adjust this headset thing. So normally you do a lot of motel staying, and which makes due diligence expensive. It's probably the most expensive part of due diligence is motel stays. If you want to reduce the cost of due diligence, one way you can do it is by house and pet sitting. No money exchanged. You take care of people's house and pets when they are gone on vacation, and you get to stay for free. If you want to get started, you can check out one of my websites, freepetsitters.com. It's all one word. freepetsitters.com. That's where you get, you will find links there to sites where you can build a profile. You don't build a profile in the website, just so that's my website. But you will find links. My website is geared towards homeowners, not people who are looking to do pet sitting. So most of 90% of what you see there is irrelevant to you.
Turn right onto Old Town Front Street, then turn right onto Rancho California Road.
But you will find links to sites where you can set up a profile, and from there you can find the homeowners can find you. And then if you could build a good reputation, you can find gigs wherever you need.
Turn right onto Rancho California Road.
So I'm going to be house sitting in 29 Palms, which is a couple of hours from Arizona. And on 27th, I will go to Arizona and start doing my due diligence there. Actually, I start doing due diligence February 1st, but I'll start getting ready for due diligence. So the reason I'm recording this today instead of waiting until January 18th, when the list for Maricopa County will be ready, is I thought of an important homework. If you already have a spreadsheet application on your computer and you know how to use it, then there's no homework for you. If you don't,
In 800 feet, use the right lane to take the I-15 North ramp.
if you already have one installed, you don't know how to use it, then you can learn how to use it. Or you can install LibreOffice Calc. You can. It's a free application. It's open source software. You can Google it, or just go to LibreOffice.com. Install the whole Office suite. Install the latest stable. You will find the latest stable and another release which is unstable, but even more later. Oops, I think I took the wrong exit.
In 1,000 feet, merge onto I-15 South.
Yeah, I took the wrong exit. I was too busy recording to pay attention which way I was going. I'm supposed to go north. So was it? Yeah. So install that application and then go to YouTube and look up tutorial for LibreOffice and pick one, filter by things that are longer than 20 minutes, less than 1 year old, and yeah, I keep saying I should get rid of this. Follow. Yeah, pick a tutorial.
Half a mile, use the right lane to take exit 58 for Temecula Parkway.
Pick a tutorial longer than 20 minutes, less than 1 year old, and learn how to use LibreOffice Calc. The reason for that is the Maricopa County tax liens will be released either one or more formats, but at least one of them is a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, but you can open it.
To take exit 58.
You can open it with LibreOffice Calc.
In a quarter mile, keep right at the fork. Follow signs for Temecula Parkway.
That way, when on the 18th, when we get the list, you won't waste time. You won't waste time learning how to use LibreOffice Calc. Now, if you are watching this after on the 18th or after, so after the
Keep right at the
17th,
fork.
then instead of following a tutorial, just follow the next lecture. So next lecture, I will tell you what to
In
do.
1,000 feet, use the left 2 lanes to turn sharply left onto the I-15 ramp to Riverside, Los Angeles. Use the left 2 lanes to turn sharply left onto the I-15 ramp.
Okay, now I'm on the right lane. Left lane, which is the right lane. So, yeah, if you are watching this after January 17th, then instead of doing a tutorial, just learn while practicing on the tax lien list. I will tell you what to do the work. Basically, the list will be tens of thousands of tax liens. In 2010, it was, I think, like 40,000. I haven't checked the list since. 2011 was 40,000. I assume it's the same now. Maybe a little less because the real estate is more valuable, so people probably don't let the taxes go unpaid. But it will be tens of thousands, at least 20,000. And we will need to take that list of 20,000 and remove several rows. Each row will be a tax lien with various information.
Continue on I-15 for 5 miles.
We need to sort it out in a certain order. You will see, I think, in the next lecture, details. And eliminate more than half the list. I probably eliminate 90% of the list. Actually, initially eliminate half and then eliminate another 80%. That's before any due diligence, just from the file itself. So this will be easy if you are familiar with a spreadsheet application, either Excel. It has to be a spreadsheet application that can read an Excel file. So either Excel itself, or OpenOffice, or library office. Or if you have another spreadsheet application, make sure you can open Excel files with it. So that's about it. And then we will embark into the what I call the smart way of losing $10,000. Now, before we embark into the smart way of losing $10,000, let me tell you about two dumb ways of losing $10,000. One dumb way is to pay one of these national training companies that train people in tax liens, pay them $10,000 for coaching. You have to understand one thing, if you haven't already figured this out. There are businesses where it's very hard, if not impossible, for honest people to compete against con men. So in these businesses, con men take over and the whole industry is run by con men. And in my opinion, I don't want to be sued, so I'm going to say this is my opinion, not a fact. 90 to 98% of the real estate training industry, how to investing, how to make money in real estate, is run by con men. If you go search for tax lien certificates, you will find ads such as, either ads or websites such as make 36% per year risk-free, backed by the government, or crap like that. And there is some truth to it, by the way. Most good lies are based on some truth. And these are the ones that get to sell their courses or their coaching programs for $5,000, $8,000, or $10,000. Basically, there are some honest people doing real estate education. The problem is, for those of us honest people doing this education, our truth doesn't sound anywhere as good as the con men's lies. When I tell you, I'm going to teach you the smart way of losing $10,000, losing $10,000 doesn't sound anywhere as good as making 36% on your money, risk-free, guaranteed by the government. So obviously we won't get much people following us, but the con man will get a lot of followers. And even though eventually those people lose money and then quit, you know the saying, there's a sucker born every day. The con man just need to cycle through new suckers every time to make their money. So one dumb way to lose $10,000 is to buy one of those coaching programs. Another dumb way of losing $10,000 is to find a list of tax liens and then buy liens recklessly without doing any due diligence, without doing your best to try not to lose money. Because then you will lose your money, you won't have learned anything, and then you'll just be short of $10,000. The smart way of losing $10,000 is to get the list, like Maricopa County tax sale list. Do your best not to lose money. Buy liens, eliminate, I will tell you more after tomorrow, various criteria to eliminate liens. And then the problem is you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So even if you do your best to eliminate liens that are likely to lose your money, you may still lose some money. And you will learn a lesson in the process. And then hopefully you'll be smarter next year and a little bit smarter the year after. And if you get lucky, you don't lose any money, then you will break even, because
Use the middle two lanes to keep left at the fork and stay on I-15 north, then take the exit toward I-215.
because I got distracted listening to my GPS. So yeah, if you don't make mistake, if you take 10,000 and you allocate 1,000 to due diligence, so that's traveling to Arizona, staying in motels, eating in restaurants, buying the plane ticket if you need to, or buying gas or whatever. And if you invest, let's say, $750 on that, and then out of what remains, out of the 9,250 that remains, you invest and get 8%, then you will basically break even. So that's assuming you make no mistake.
Exit 60. Then use the right 2 lanes to turn sharply left onto Hot Springs Road.
But you will have learned a lot of things. And eventually, once you learn a lot, and if you feel comfortable,
Use the right 2 lanes to turn sharply right onto Marietta Hot Springs Road.
if you feel comfortable specializing in tax lien certificates, or at least devoting a fair amount of money, you would have to invest like 100,000. But hopefully by then you would have made the mistakes with the small money.
Marietta Hot Springs Road.
And then if you make 8% on nearly 100,000, that's $8,000, and then the $750 that you spend on due diligence will be small potatoes. They basically will reduce your return from 8% to 7%. So 7% effective return, 8% gross return. That's what we are talking about, but only after you've paid your dues. So the best way to think of your first $10,000, it's like your tuition money, except you get your school is not a school that I run or that some con man runs, but it's the school of hard knocks. And if you don't feel comfortable losing 10,000, and if what happens you have to lose 10,000 is you quit, then you may as well quit today. You can get lucky and not make a mistake. My first year I made money, haven't lost, but it wasn't in Arizona. It was in a different state, and I only had to buy 2 liens, and there was still a risk I could have lost money, but it turned out okay. So, how long have I been talking? Probably 15-20 minutes. So for now, for the remainder, just enjoy the ride. If I think of something, I will say it. If not, if I don't think of anything, just enjoy the ride for another half an hour.
Marietta Hot Springs Road, then use the right lane to take the I-215 North ramp.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to take the wrong exit this time. 215 North ramp.
Use the right lane to take the I-215 North ramp.
And also continue cleaning your place.
I-215 North for 29 miles.
Continue whatever you had to do urgently this month, do it now before the 18th, so that on the 18th you can focus on Maricopa County tax lien certificates. And the disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. This is not investment advice. It's not tax advice. It's not any advice. I'm just sharing my story. Think of it as kind of poor man's reality TV. I'm showing you as I do it, explaining to you that I'm doing what I'm doing. Yes, I told you I will probably not invest in Maricopa myself this year. Here's why. I'm going to probably curious. First, I'm not going after interest rate return. I'm not going after the 8% gross, 7% net. I'm going after the property. To go after the property, I developed software called VLSoft. Don't look for it, it's not available anywhere. I use it myself for my own needs. And the software goes into the website of the assessors and treasurers and selects tax liens to invest in. And out of the 15 counties in Arizona, I think there are 15, my software can only handle 5 counties. What they are called single certificate counties. These are Mojave, Cochise, Santa Cruz, Navajo, and there is a 5th one. What's the 5th one? Gila County. So these are the ones that my software can handle. Since I'm going to, I only have time to add one county this year, because every time I add a county, I have to go into the code, Java code, and make sure I have methods, functions that can handle the assessor and treasury website of these counties. I will be house and pet sitting in 4 places in Arizona this time: Fort Mojave, Prescott, Green Valley, and Sedona. What's the name? Prescott is in Yavapai County, and Sedona is at the intersection of Yavapai County and Cocosino County. So since I only have the time to add one county to my software, at best, then I've decided to add Yavapai to my list. So I may start trying to add, since Maricopa is coming up in 2 days, I may start trying to add Maricopa, but most likely I won't be able to finish it, and then as soon as Yavapai's list comes up, I'll probably switch to Yavapai. So that's why most likely I won't invest in Maricopa. I might, but most likely I will not. So having different objectives, that's what I'm teaching in this introductory class. Maricopa is not suited for me. When you invest for property, you have to be extremely selective, and because of that, I need the software. If you invest for the interest rate, you don't have to be selective. You can basically, after you eliminate half of the properties based on what I will tell you in a couple of days, then you can basically throw a dart at the list, pick several, and then do some due diligence on that. But it's not as much due diligence, so you don't have to do due diligence on every property that meets your criteria. You can isolate just a few randomly that meet your criteria, and then due diligence on those, eliminate even further properties. So you don't need any software to invest for the interest return. Also, I told you may need to be busy full time. Actually, that was for what I do, which is selecting properties on the ones that are least likely to redeem, that are good enough but least likely to redeem. That's what I go after, because I want the property. So that is at least 20 hours a week effort. But if you just want the interest, then you can actually do it in your spare time. You can keep your job during your vacation and invest based on what I will show you in a couple of days. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. So right now, if you don't have my contact information in the description, I may put it down the road, but even if it's there, I won't respond to questions by email or by phone or anything. I will only respond in questions in the comments, and I probably won't respond in the comment itself, but I will read the question and then respond in a future video. So don't forget the homework. Make sure there is a spreadsheet application in your computer that can read Excel files. It can be Excel, different application. I use LibreOffice, and you know how to use it, that you know how to sort data and how to delete rows, and less important how to delete columns, but you may not delete columns. Make sure you know how to sort data based on whichever column you pick, and how to delete rows. That's what I will be doing with a raw file that will come out of Maricopa County on January 18th. and clean up your to-do list. Whatever you had to do in January, do it before January 18th. My coffee. Maricopa County is what's known as multiple certificate state. What that means, let's say the property owner hasn't paid his 2022 property taxes, so a lien will be sold now in February 2024, February 6, 2024. Let's say the property owner doesn't pay his 2023 taxes, then in 2025 another lien will be sold on the property. I believe from what I read online that other counties, other multiple certificate states counties in Arizona, they would give you the opportunity to what's known as subtax, pay the property taxes and add the amount to as the value of your lien. But from what I read a couple of days ago, I didn't actually know this a couple of days ago, is that Maricopa doesn't do that. They will just sell a second lien. So then you would end up with you owning the 2022 tax lien which you bought in 2024, and another investor owning the 2023 taxes which will be sold in 2025. So now you would have two investors who own liens, two different liens on the same property. And if you go after the interest rate, it shouldn't matter much, because eventually it actually makes it more likely that somebody will redeem, because the person who will have bought a different lien on the property will have the right to redeem yours. Redeeming means they will pay property taxes and you get your money back plus the interest. And since that's what you are after, that's not a big deal. There is a guy, his name is Jerry, I don't know his last name, who has been investing in taxis in Arizona for the last 5 or 6 years. And he said he doesn't buy in Maricopa. I don't know why he doesn't buy. I don't know if it's because of this problem or because of another reason. So right now, just like me, he's very busy, so I didn't ask him, but I will ask him eventually in March or April why he doesn't buy in Maricopa County. In what's known as single certificate states, single certificate counties, which is the 5 I told you before, Mojave, Gila, Santa Cruz, Cochise, Navajo, if you buy the lien this year, the 2022 lien, and then you don't subtax, and the owner doesn't pay his taxes, which will redeem your certificate, then what will be brought for sale in 2025, let's say another investor buys it, then other investor will have to pay for 2023 taxes plus interest and 2022 taxes, which means they will redeem your lien, and then the other investor is the only lien owner in the property. That's what's called single certificate county. You don't end up like in Maricopa or in other multiple counties, multiple certificate counties where many people can own, somebody can own. In the multiple certificate counties, somebody can own 2022 tax lien, somebody can own, another investor can own 2023 tax liens, a third investor can own the 2024 tax lien, which will be sold in 2026. In single certificate counties, you don't have that. Every time, if the owner doesn't pay and you don't subtax, you don't pay the subsequent year taxes, then the lien, the buyer of the 2025 has to pay 2023 and 2022 taxes, and you get your money back, and the subsequent buyer is the only owner of a lien. Likewise, the year after, if whoever bought 2025 doesn't subtax the 2024 taxes, then in 2026 someone else can buy it and own, and we have to pay 2022, 2023, 2024, and own, be the only owner of a lien. Now, there's an advantage of that, which is why I went after these 5 counties I told you, is that, remember I told you normally the redemption period is 3 years, but I may be able to foreclose this year on liens I bought last year. How come? How come I only have to wait 1 year? That's because in 2021, 3 years ago, liens were sold on those 2 houses I told you about, the one I referred to as Big House and Little House. Big house, I don't mean prison. I mean just a house that happens to be big, lots of square footage. So liens were sold on those in 2021, and whoever bought them in 2021 didn't pay for the 2022 taxes. So in 2021 they sold 29 taxes, and then they didn't subtax, and the owners haven't paid their property taxes. And because I bought those in a single certificate county, I paid for the taxes of 2019 taxes and 2021 taxes, and in one case 2020 taxes. So I had to pay a big amount, a couple of years worth of taxes, but I'm the only owner. And not only that, but the redemption period clock started in 2021. So even though I didn't buy the liens in 2021, somebody else bought them, or through somebody else's, and they only bought them in 2023, it doesn't reset the clock. In single certificate counties, it's whenever they were sold first, whenever the tax lien was sold first and kept and remained unredeemed, that's when the clock started. So for example, if somebody bought the lien in 2021 for the property taxes, for 2019 property taxes, and they haven't subtaxed the 2022, and I buy their lien in 2024 because they haven't subtaxed 2022, I don't have to wait at all. The redemption period will be expired either the day I buy or within a couple of days. So I could start foreclosing right away. Now that's potential high return, but you have to ask yourself, there are 2 people in this case who know something about the property that haven't paid their taxes. There is the owners and the investor who bought the prior year tax lien either decided, I'm hoping if they haven't decided, I'm hoping that they forgot or whatever, or they ran out of money, or they decided to quit tax lien investing. But if they knowingly, for good reason, decided not to subtax, then you have 2 people who know more than me about the property, who didn't think it was worth, who may not have thought it was worth to pay the property taxes. So that's a risky strategy. But if you want to acquire a house and you'd rather not wait the 3 years, it's a strategy we want to pursue. I'm neither recommending nor not recommending it. In fact, until last year, this is what I was pursuing. I was buying liens that, well, I didn't have to wait the 3 years, but I decided to change that this year because it occurred to me that these are liens on properties that at least 2 people who know about the property more than I do decided not to pay the taxes and it's maybe well be because there's something wrong with the property. So it's high potential IRR, internal rate of return, if you acquire the house without waiting too long, but it's also a higher risk. So I'm neither recommending, not recommending it, but I'm changing my strategy this year is to be willing to wait 3 years to acquire fresh liens where no other investor has bought a lien on the property. So that's one of the changes. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is beyond an introductory course, what I'm just saying here, but this is one of the changes I decided to make this year. But in Maricopa, you have no choice. You have to wait 3 years, no matter how many liens have been sold on the property. In fact, that's one of the mistakes I made in 2010 or 2011. I bought liens on houses in Maricopa County on 2 houses where a lien was sold 3 years earlier on the same property. And then right away, I called the lawyer and he explained to me that even though they sold liens on the same property 3 years earlier, I still have to wait the full 3-year period. And I had bid, I think 0% on one, 2% on the other, or something like that. So I basically got de minimis 0%. I got nothing. 2% I got very little money. On my money, it was tied up for a couple of years. The law that governs tax sales is a state law, but sometimes counties interpret it differently. That's why there are 3 categories of county as far as I can tell in Arizona. There's Maricopa, which is a category on its own, and then there is other multiple certificate states, multiple certificate counties, which is the second category, and then there is a single certificate counties, which is the third category, which is the 5 I told you. It used to be 6, but now it's 5. Yavapai used to be single certificate, then became multiple certificate county. The remaining Navajo, Gila, Mojave, Santa Cruz, and Cochise, or Cochise, I'm not sure how to say it. I think it's Cochise. Those are single certificate counties. The road noise is not too much. I know I generally don't watch videos that are taken in a car with a car driving, but I wanted to make this kind of as reality TV as possible. So this is part of investing in taxis, being on the road, and it's not taking me any time. It's not like when I make a video at home or in a motel room, then it's taking me time I could be using for something else. This is the time I use for driving anyway. "73 degrees outside. Nice place to be in the middle of January. If you think tax lien certificates are too risky, and there's a good reason for that, look into discounted private mortgages. I own the domain name trustdeedsuniversity.com. I also created a YouTube channel called Trust Deeds University. trust is TRUST, T as in Tom, Deeds, DEEDS, University. But right now there's no website at trustdeedsuniversity.com, and there's no video at Trust Deeds University YouTube channel. I'm too busy with my investing to actually do the teaching, and unlike these ones where I just talk, I just I just turn on the camera and start blabbing. For Trust Deeds University, when I get to it, I will make prepared lectures. By the way, like I said, for this introductory course also, after the initial 29 blabbing videos, I will make prepared lecture, and I have my own idea what I want to present, but if you have some ideas what you want to see, put those in the comments. And whether you decide to invest in trust deeds or in tax liens, it's better to do it with a friend. I don't mean you put your money and invest together. It's better that you invest and have a friend who you invest your own money, have a friend who invests his own money, and bounce off ideas off each other. So if you know people who have expressed any interest in making money on their own, forward them these videos, send them links to these videos, share them on your Facebook pages, on your Facebook page. And if you can get someone from your own town who decides to invest, and you can bounce off ideas off each other, especially if you are far from Arizona and you decide to apply what I'm teaching you to your state. If you do that, you need to learn the laws in your state, because each state is different. And unlike what many gurus say, not all liens disappear even when you foreclose on a tax lien. There are liens that remain alive. In Arizona, it's the medical liens. If you find a house that's worth $200,000 and the taxes are, let's say, $4,000 a year, so you would think you can acquire it for 6 years worth of taxes, which is $24,000 plus foreclosure costs, which is about $3,000. So you may get excited that you would get a house that's worth $200,000 for $27,000. But if the owner went to some hospital in Arizona and got a $150,000 medical bill and never paid it, that medical lien.
2 miles, take exit 29 for California 60 East Moreno Valley Freeway toward Beaumont, Indio.
That lien will not disappear even when you foreclose on your tax lien. So you may buy the lien for $27,000, for $24,000, and then the owner doesn't redeem, and then you will, if you foreclose, you will end up with a house worth $200,000, but with a $150,000 lien on it, which is not too bad. You will still have acquired the house below market value. But imagine if now the lien is worth, if the lien is $300,000. Let's say the person stayed a long time in the hospital and hasn't paid his bill. Then after you buy the lien for $24,000, and you go hire a lawyer, try to hire a lawyer to do the foreclosure. If it's a good lawyer, a good ethical lawyer, he will tell you after he gets title search done, he will tell you about the lien, and that if you foreclose, you will acquire a house that's underwater, and your best option is not to foreclose at all. And if the owner doesn't redeem the lien, then you end up having spent $24,000 and having a worthless lien. So that's a risk you need to be aware of in Arizona. That's not the case in other states, but other states have other liens that survive foreclosure, may have other liens. City liens generally survive foreclosure in every state as far as I know, but other liens may survive foreclosure. So you have to know the law in your own state. If you're in Pennsylvania, there is 2 different types of auctions. I forgot what they are called. I think they are both conducted by the sheriff's office, but in one of them there are things that survive tax lien foreclosure. In other types of auctions, there are the same liens may not survive tax lien foreclosure. You want other liens not to survive tax lien foreclosure. So generally, I believe city liens always survive. Other than that, if you want to do it outside of Arizona, you have to learn what survives in your state. So in Arizona, one of the things we will check when we do due diligence in a couple of days on Maricopa tax liens is we will look online for liens recorded against the property and eliminate the ones where we find the medical lien. The medical lien may not specify the property, but it may just be a lien recorded in the county, and if that's the case, if there is a lien recorded in the county where the property owns, where the owner owns the property, then that medical lien will survive an eventual foreclosure, and you may end up investing money in a tax lien that's actually worth zero because it gives you the right to foreclose on a property that will be underwater even after foreclosure. That's what the con men, I guess, refer to as risk-free, guaranteed by the government when they peddle their bullshit on their websites and in their videos. I need to make sure I get on 60 East to Moreno Valley before I make the
In
mistake.
1,000 feet, take exit 29 for California 60 East Moreno Valley Freeway toward Beaumont, Indio.
East.
Take exit 29.
Okay, this time I took the right exit.
Continue on
60
California
East.
60 East for 18 miles.
Don't forget to check out freepetsitters.com. It will allow you, if you become a free pet sitter, it will allow you to reduce your due diligence costs. When you get to freepetsitters.com, click on the link that says get a pet sitter, even though that's not what you are looking for, because the website is geared towards pet owners. Click on get free pet sitter today or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. Just and then you will find links to free house and pet sitting websites, and then you can subscribe to them. One of them is like $50 a year normally, but if you get there through my website for the same $50, you get 1.5 years. You get 6 months free if you get to it through my affiliate link, and then I get 6 months free too. I think, I don't know if it's 6 months or 2 months I get, but you will get 6 months free, that I know. So you will get 18 months for $50 instead of just 12 months. The other one, I think you get a discount by using my affiliate link, which is on my website. So freepetsitters.com. Click on the link that says find a pet sitter today or something like that. Read through it, and then you will find more. Besides, you won't be interested in the text because it's not, you are not the target audience, but you will find links to the same websites. The same websites cater to both home and pet owners and free pet sitters like you and I. Well, like myself and you if you decide to reduce the cost of due diligence. Once I get to 29 pounds, I will do what I preach. I have a few things that I need to get done this month, so I'm gonna get those done as much as possible before January 18th, which is after tomorrow. Today is January 16th, which is Tuesday. don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when I upload new videos. I am already at the 5th or 6th in January, and this year, 2024, I will only do the introductory lecture, which is 30 videos. So the pace will go down significantly after the end of February. I do most of them in January, February, because that's when I focus on Arizona tax lien investing. After that, I'll focus on my tax returns, then probably on buying private mortgages and other passive income generating assets. Also, even though there's no videos in Trusted University YouTube channel, go ahead and look it up. It's youtube.com/@TrustedUniversity. So subscribe to that one, hit the bell icon. That's why when I ever produce and upload the introductory video, you will get to listen to that too. يا ويلي قارن إذا غادي قارن ما تزرم سكات الفرق. يا ويلي فهمن يا غيس فهمن داش ديالي الفلانة الحين في تاسن يس الساسن لو ما بريد غرنا يخرب كان السن البلاد ذي وسن البلاد ذي وسن يخرب كان السن يا للهم لا يسنى يا ويلتي فرون غاست فرمت اللي ما تشكن ويدي يتغرون ويغديني نديتن ويدي يتضرون يرغرنا غيتلالن مالي لهذا الهون مالي نعطيك مالي يعطيك سلام ويلي تهدو تقارب سبنو متفد مسيرة تواغيت هدوني لاشي غتبنون تجديد أثرنون أختهقين اسم الديس I think I've been blabbing for over an hour now, but I have my phone, as you can see, you may be able to see on the rearview mirror on my head, and since I'm on a highway, I don't want to mess up with it and touch it. So, and I'll probably just upload this whole thing, and if I think of something other, that I will say it, so you don't want to miss out. Other than that, hopefully you can get to enjoy the view. And if you are living in Michigan or one other state that's terrible in January, it may give you the inspiration to move to Southern California or to Arizona. $70 outside. It's starting to get cooler. As we move away from the ocean, going east, it becomes cooler in winter, but less likely to rain. ويلي فهمن يا ياس فهمن إذا شي ديالي الفلانة الحول الحيف تتسن وتجلس الساسن ينو بريت الغرنة نبرد في وسان يخرب كان السن يعدل الهم يكلا يسنا هاويس تفرون غاس تفرمت دمتشكل هاويس تفرون غاس تفرمت دمتشكل ويدي غيصورون ويقتيني نيثن ويدي غيصورون ويقتيني نيثن ويدي غيصورون الغرنا غيتسلالن هذا الهون مازي يغتيسن هاويلي تودون سقار مزبنو مزبن مسير سواغيس بيزلحو الدنيس تاشي غتسلو الفوم تجدي زغتالو مغزي كيمس بنتيس وينور يتهدون وينور نفنو السجنال يفروري وينور نفنو السجنال يفروري وينور نتهدو ورقل لي دابراني وينور نتهدو ورقل لي دابراني نحيم لا نرقو ونتصلنقو مدنا خويا نبت بلاتي شنيا لا وليدي يقارن This headset thing is uncomfortable on my forehead, so I'll move it around once in a while, and probably I should take it off soon. half hour away. I think I've been on the road for like an hour. A little more. It's more than an hour. Any questions? You can talk your questions. Hopefully by the time you read this, there is an AI which can hear you and put it in the YouTube comments, or if you don't have that, then just type it in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button. And yeah, tell me about my public speaking. How do I do? Do I pronounce right? Do I articulate right? Do I talk too fast? Too slow? Can you understand what I say without having to listen to it 10 times? Look at that car ahead of me. I think it has different license plates. There is a license plate that you can see when the thing is I think it's a different one. Probably some kind of murder or something trying to hide.